Hey, it's Christine Ruiz, and you can always find or visit my website at christinedeco.com. Yeah, Dane's knocked out, looking like yesterday. We didn't change his wardrobe up today. Um, Today I wanted to talk about your story versus your why, or my story versus my why, because I think, especially for people who are new to business and new to being an entrepreneur, and especially more so for people, sorry, hair's fixing, for people who are in MLMs or network marketing, it's something that's good to understand and know and be able to express. So I figured I would get on here, and I have a call soon, so I'm actually probably going to keep this one short, unlike my normal self. Hopefully nothing's in my teeth. I finished a really good salad. And tried to rinse before I got on here. But yeah, making sure people understand and can easily distinguish and express what both of those are. So essentially your story is kind of a glimpse or gist of your background as far as who you were maybe, or who you are, and what things brought you to the point of deciding to join a business, to start a business, to own a business, and either what that business has done for you or what you're looking for that business to do for you. So for example, I would say, hey Vaughn, I would say, obviously I'm Christine. I was a single mom, and now I'm a married mother of four. One thing that's always been true is that I am a working mom. I definitely I've had and have big goals and always been driven in wanting to essentially create an empire or grow something larger than myself, so that it would be something to pass down to my children. Well, when it was just Ava, my child, and now to my children. When I had my youngest son, Dane, I had an overwhelming sense that I did not want to return to having to physically be away from him and spend, a good portion or the majority of my check paying someone else to watch and care for him when I knew I wanted to do it myself. And so I started to look and seek opportunities to create additional income, and found a business that I really like and engage in, and have since then joined a few others, and started my own personal business, and I'm just looking forward to, it's already making a difference, not just financially, but honestly in me as a person, in my personal development and the knowledge I'm gaining, and just the changes that are happening with me. So I'm looking forward to putting that dream and that vision I had and making it reality. And I'm blessed and honored to have the opportunity to do that each and every day. So that's essentially my story. Now, your why, it's the deeper stuff. It's the thing that drives you and keeps you going every day. Because my fellow entrepreneurs, and if you're here, you can definitely, write down maybe something you've overcome, or if you watch this in a replay and want to share with others to be an encourage, to encourage others. There can be times, as being an entrepreneur, where it's trying, especially when you come from, like most of us do, the background and the history of going to work every day, knowing what you're going to get paid, and even if you have your days that you slack off or you stare at Facebook on your computer, you get paid the same amount. Doesn't change. I guess you work at a job that's partially paid and partially commissioned, but essentially the majority of us come from that background, and that's what we know. So when you decide to step into being an entrepreneur, and truly your action or inaction determines your income, and what you produce and what you bring home, it's different. And as an entrepreneur, your income and what you produce and what you make is truly 100% dependent on the relationships you build, the people you sell to and reach out to. It's directly tied to what you put out and what you do and the actions that you take or don't take. So there are times where you might feel like you're doing and you're giving and you're reaching out and following up, and you don't see the reward that you're hoping for, and it can It can discourage you, it can scare you, it can do a lot of things, but your why is that thing, or those things, or just in essence, your why is what keeps you going, what keeps you inspired and motivated, and what makes you want to learn and want to do and want to push past any disappointment or failure or mistake or upset. So for me, and I've probably said it so much, I'll probably tell about why, but for me, my why is my legacy. And when I say that, it's my children, but also my legacy of the person that I am, how I treat people, how I love people, all that as a whole. My why, deep down, is my legacy. My why is my family. Because we don't make money because we want to just hold on to money and have money. Most of us, we make money because there's something tied to it. There's a time freedom, the physical freedom, the comforts. Because like when we get things, we want things for the comfort, whether it's emotional, whether it's ego, whatever it is. But there's always something deeper behind what we want, what we work for, what we're trying to obtain. When we want nice shoes or we want a nice dress, it's not always just that dress or those shoes, but it's how we feel. Do we feel sexy? Do we feel beautiful? Do we feel feminine? It's always that deeper meaning. So just wanted to share and to encourage. And I think somebody else is here. You guys, don't forget, say hi. Hit the like button, hit the love button, you can hit the laugh button. But definitely let me know if this is beneficial to you. If it's of value, if you're learning something, if you're in agreement. I definitely like to share. I always love when I have more people on and interacting, but I also do go back and read the comments and definitely appreciate them all. So thank you, because I know sometimes I'll do a live and then at night, that's when I get a bunch of comments, and so it allows me to revisit and rewatch and think about what I've shared, and if there's more, or, you know, it's just nice for reflection too. But hi Heather. Marcy, you're here. It's just saying hi, but I can't stay. Well, hey Marcy, and hi Heather. But I just think, yes, it's definitely, it's definitely important, and just something, it's kind of like a fundamental piece. When you are a business owner, entrepreneur, make sure you distinguish and know your story versus your why. It's always good to have a story and try to make it succinct. Y'all know I talk a lot, but my story I can pretty much say, and that one I add a little bit, but I've actually recorded myself, and I can say it in about 60 seconds or less, definitely under 90 seconds, because sometimes you don't want to just be drawn out and take forever to explain your story. So it's always good to have your story and then know your why. And your why you can share with others, you can just keep to yourself, but I just think with personal development, it's always good to dig deeper, to think about why we're doing the things we do. What is it really for? What are we really trying to achieve? And oftentimes the things we're trying to achieve aren't often things. They're feelings. They're emotions. So it's good to tap into that and be able to share your story, because sometimes all it takes is you sharing your story to inspire or encourage someone else. I coach a lot of different people, but one of the conversations I had the other day with someone was stepping out of ourselves and remembering that sometimes when there's a thought or something you want to share, sometimes it's for you, but sometimes it's for someone else. So that's kind of the beauty and the importance of sharing, is because we never know who's going to benefit from it, who needs that, who is out there waiting for you, waiting for me to express something that gives them an affirmation or a confirmation that they're headed in the right direction, that they're not alone, and that they too can do it. You know what I mean? That was one of the reasons why my friend Shimei, I call her Mayla, and we were actually talking, had a great conversation today. So hi Shimei, hopefully you'll see this a little bit later. But we were talking, and that was one of the big reasons why I wanted to do a live with her when I did home business and homeschooling, and we're going to do it again. She's such a great person, and she's got so much to share. Like, I learned from her a lot too. But that was one of the things I was like, Shimei, like, you need to get on here and share your experience. You know, you homeschool 3 kids, you know, 3 different ages. She lived in Canada for the longest, and then, you know, moved back to the U.S. But just that different experience of living in another country, coming back, homeschooling your kids. She's Black like me, so there's not as many Black women and Black families homeschooling. There's more, the numbers are growing, but it's still not the norm or the average or the typical. So I was like, there needs to be other moms that look like me and you that see that, okay, homeschooling is something that you can do, and it's not just one way. There's many ways, or different styles, different teachings. And she got a lot of feedback when we did that video. So I'm excited because I know she's going to be doing more and more sharing and a lot of cool things just in that niche, in that world of homeschooling, and the benefits and the options and the choices and all of that. But I talked to her, that's my friend, so, you know, I learned from her, but I was like, why not share? And there's a lot of people some people who have kids, some people don't even have kids yet, who had a lot of questions and just wanted to really learn, and maybe had heard of homeschooling but never considered it, and now they are, because she shared her story. And she shared her why. When we got on that video, she shared her story, as far as kind of her background, and she shared her why, as to why she decided and she chose and is choosing and continuing to homeschool her kids. So I guess honestly this video was more so for entrepreneurs and thinking know your story versus your why. But in saying this, I can honestly see how this applies to life, for people who work a 9-to-5 and have a career. It's still good to have a story and know your story and know your why and have your why, because with everything we do, something's always motivating that, something is always driving that. And I think we have to take the time to be present, to hear ourselves, to listen to ourselves, to be still in this constantly go, go, go world, to be still and to get in tune with our own selves, so that we're making sure we're not just on autopilot from day to day, but that we're living and we're experiencing and we're growing and we're contributing and we're giving. And not just giving, but that we're open to receive. That's another thing. Sometimes there's an opportunity that's presented to us, or an experience, or whatever it could be, that we could really grow from and benefit from. But if we aren't open to receiving, because we're just so focused, but we're not open to receiving, we don't know what we might miss out on. There's people who aren't open to receiving love, and they say, I want love, and I want a marriage, and I want this, and I want that. But there are areas in their hearts that are just closed off, and they're not open to receiving love, and it can be right in their face, and they don't see it. So I think knowing your story, knowing your story and your why is something for all of us. It's good to know, because we should know why we're doing what we're doing, and we should have something that we're always that just kind of drives us and keeps us and encourages us when times can get rough or confusing or stall, to have that knowledge and just that emotion and that thing that helps us when we need it. Heather, are you still here? Let me see. I don't know her, Heather. I think you might still be here. Oh, it says can't bring on camera. She might have left. All right. No, Heather's one of my friends now. She's in the city. She's been sharing some live videos from the subway, which is interesting. I saw your picture today, Heather, of the guy sleeping across like 3 seats in the subway car. That stuff gets on my nerves. But that's it. Okay, this still was kind of a decent length video. But yes, I hope that everyone takes the time to think about their story versus their why. Know them both and be comfortable in saying them to yourself. You might have to share with everyone, but from a business perspective, it's good to at least know your story and be able to say it. You can have a long version and a succinct version, but try to have something that's, 60 seconds or less, or 90 seconds or less. And if anyone needs help with that, or has questions, or needs some direction on drafting and creating your story versus your why, I'm happy to help. And again, you guys can always direct message me, or essentially y'all know where to find me. I think I've put my website in here before, but you guys know how to reach me. But definitely, I think it's something that's a staple in our business that we should know and have a keen understanding on, and I'm always happy to help. Because even though for so long things aren't always clear for me personally, or haven't been, now they are a lot clearer, but it sometimes still makes me laugh at how clearly I can speak with someone and come up with solutions and resources and a time and a place and everything to start and provide that clear direction. So it's fun for me and I enjoy it. But today's Friday, so I hope everyone has a great weekend. My dinner is cooking, and I'm going to make some dip for the kids before they get home. So they'll be excited about that. And I hope everyone has a great weekend. All right, bye.